Welcome back to our daily win total breakdown of the ACC. We're going to do all the conferences, don't worry, for the Power Four. We're almost done here. After this team, we have 5 teams left, which all 5 will probably come out tomorrow. I'm only doing 2 today. We had a lot of UFC stuff to do. I did a COD video. So, yeah, how this is going to work, I'm going to say, we're going to go through the schedule for the team. I'm going to say the most likely outcome of wins. That'll give us a side over or under. I'll say how much I like it, and I'll say whether or not I am personally betting it. And maybe just talking it out with someone could show you whether or not you should bet it, right? And that's what I think is more important. It's just another opinion, another side to show you, should I be putting my money on this, right, or not? I think that's what this is mainly for. Doing the NC State Wolfpack, a team I'm a fan of NC State, especially because they got Grayson McCall. That's a quarterback that I actually like a lot. I was a big fan at Coastal Carolina. He almost got me. He was the only reason I went to Coastal Carolina. I didn't end up going to Coastal Carolina, Temple University, but he made me debate it for a little bit. I'm also like NC State a lot. I cashed their over the last 2 years in a row, and last year big. That was one of my biggest win total bets. Was last year they're over 6.5. We cashed that one big. And I think this team's actually kind of better than they were last year too. I feel like the ACC is so top heavy from 6 up, and then the down is a little bit of a drop off. Makes it a little weird of a conference, especially with these teams coming in. It's a little harder to predict. But let's get right in here with the NC State Wolfpack. The number's 8.5. It's a lot. Well, we'll see if we can get 9 here. Week 1, they're home for West Carolina. That is a win. They're 1-0. Week 2, home for Tennessee. That's a tough one. I have to give them a loss. I'm always going to back the SEC team, especially with an ACC team that's a little unproven. And this is an NC State team that usually starts doing better towards the end of the season. Week 3, home for Louisiana Tech is a win. They're 2-1. Week 4 at Clemson. You don't want Clemson earlier in the year, for my opinion, because I think the depth is the problem for Clemson. I don't think this is the spot you want to get them. I think NC State more clicks towards the end of the year. If it was end of the year, I think NC State has a chance to upset them, but I'm going to have to pick Clemson. I think they're 2-2 after week 4, and I think there's a little panic with diehard NC State fans, but I think they're perfectly okay here because I think they get on a good stretch here. Week 5, home for Northern Illinois is a win. They're 3-2. Week 6, home for Wake Forest, I think is a win. They're 4-2. Week 7, home for Syracuse. I think they're 5-2. And then week 8, they're at Cal. Now, I want to give them this game, and they can win this game. But this is a far travel for an NC State team that just played 7 weeks in a row. No bye. And a lot of teams have at least one bye by this point. They're playing 7 weeks in a row. They got to go all the way to Cal. That's tough. I'm giving Cal the win, but those Wake Forest, Syracuse, Cal game, I think they lose one of those games. I think it's just going to happen early in the season. I lean the Cal game. That's just a tough spot, in my opinion. So we're at 5-3. Bye week 9, week 10, home for Stanford should be a win. That's 6-3. Week 11, they're home for Duke. I have that as a win as well to go to 7-3. I think Duke's going to be really bad by that point in the season. So I think those are pretty 2 easy wins here. Then the win total that comes down to the last 2 weeks. Week 12 bye, which I think is the reason why they do beat Georgia Tech on the road. Week 13 because of the bye week. It's going to be a much needed bye week for them. And I think they will get that. To get to 8 here, and then week 14 is the rivalry game. NC State at North Carolina. I think they win the game, but it's this is the reason why I'm not betting the over, is because I have so much question mark in North Carolina. They could be really good, they could be really bad, and we'll know at some point midway through the season. I'm going over for the NC State Wolfpacks, and this is the first time I've gone back-to-back overs here in my win total breakdowns, but I am taking the over 8.5. I think this is another forgotten team in the ACC, just like Louisville. I think they're going to perform better than a lot of people think. Just for it to come down to 2 road games at the end of the year is just so scary to me. And it's crazy because I just filmed the Louisville video, and I liked this over before the Louisville. I kind of like the Louisville one more, and I wouldn't bet that one either, just because I think you're most likely going to get a push, and the ACC is a little weird to me with the Cal teams, the Stanford teams, SMU coming in. It's a little wonky. Ultimately, I am taking the over. I think it's ultimately going to be a good season for NC State. They'll make another bowl game. I think they'll be in somewhat contention for the championship at some point in the season. I'm taking the over. I like Grayson McCall. I'm a fan. It makes me feel a little biased, but over 8.5 for the Wolfpack. I'm Josh Wissing. If you want more ACC win total predictions, they're all on my channel. You can go on the channel, you can hit the playlist, you can watch them all. You can watch all, if you're watching this later, you can watch all my college football win total predictions. They're all on the playlist. I'm sure the ones that I'm betting probably say bet on it. I know already betting Georgia Tech, so if you want to go check out that one, you can. Yeah, and please hit subscribe too while we're at it, because we're pushing out content daily. And if you're a sports fan, you're a sports betting fan, I promise you there's something you would like to watch on this channel, and we'll learn together, right? This is a family here we're going to grow. I'm Josh Wissing. Thank you.